Hello, good evening, and welcome back to Al-Abraar Apple Farm Diary, the channel where we're documenting our journey through apple farming in Zaria, northern Nigeria. This is around the fourth week since the planting of our Wambugu apples, and we have had quite some experiences I'd like to share with you. If you remember, we planted these apples some 4 weeks ago, sometime in the middle of August. And August in this part of Nigeria happens to be the middle of rainy season. And a lot of rains we had this year, and this really affected some of our apples. We noticed two major challenges planting them in the middle of rainy season. Number one is the fact that you can't control the amount of water. So it was raining almost on daily basis, and some of our apples actually got what is called root rot disease and couldn't make it. And therefore, in our opinion, planting apples in this part of Nigeria should not be done in the middle of rainy season. It should be sometime when the rains are over, sometime in October, November, I think will be the best time. The second thing that will affect the apples, especially during the rainy season, is this fungal infection that you're seeing right here. Okay, the leaves have been suffering this fungal infection, and because of the rains, the dampness of the rains, and the spores of these things are actually on the ground and sometimes could be blown by the air. Then when the rain splashes on the ground, it's so we have to start treating these apples with some what we call it, antifungal agents, in order for them to, and these fungal things actually catches young leaves more. Okay, this tree particularly, I remember we had to replace it. I had to replace this one, but thank God now it's doing well, it's picking up. So now we are in the middle of September, and the rains are abated a little bit. For like 3 or 4 days now, it has not rained heavily, so the apples seem to enjoy, you know, when the rains are not too much, especially at this young age. So we're hoping that they can begin to thrive now that the rains are over. You can see this one completely looks like, leaves have dried out, and can't know if this one will pick up and be good again. It's possible, and you know and it's very important that the shoot comes from the grafted part, which is this part above the graft. This is the Wambugu apple. If anything is growing from below here, that's the root stock. That's not actually the Wambugu apple. Okay, so I strongly advise anybody that's going to do apple farming in this environment not to plant in the middle of rainy season. Let the rains go. You'll have the challenge of having to water, but I think it's a better challenge. This one thankfully is picking up, so you can see it's growing new leaves here and here. So hopefully we'll get something out of it. So another thing I've noticed with these apples is that they grow quite slowly. They grow slowly, so it can take you up to a month before you get a leaf from a bud, but thankfully they're doing well. Okay, so this one is doing well, but the leaves also showing some spots. Okay, but hopefully we'll get this apples going. So let us see another one. Okay, So here, this one has lost some of its leaves. It's likely to all these fungal infections. You can see the way the fungal infection affects the leaves. See the leaf drying on one side and the other side is still green. And if you don't pluck it or treat it, it can actually affect the whole tree. So we have to drench this trees with antifungus. Okay, let's see another plant. Oh yeah, it's one of our plants, and see how this one is even trying to flower. Imagine, you can see the flower and you appreciate the flowers. It's pinkish something here is the flower. It's some buds are coming up here and here, and now that the rains are over, we're hoping that the plant will burst into full growth, vegetative growth very soon. Okay, here's another one. This one too is showing the signs of this fungal infection which I told you about, and will have to be treated. Okay, but the apples don't like plenty of rains, so never plant Wambugu apples in northern Nigeria in the middle of rainy season. But I'm excited. I think once the rains are done, we can begin to have some positive sharing news in the farm here. So we planted about 49 of them, but of course we lost some 5 or so had to be replaced, so that leaves us with like 44 thereabouts. But even among the 44, a few may still not make it. That's the nature of everything in life. See this one growing some young leaves, and all need to be treated. These fungal and bacterial infections are very uh, attracted to the young leaves. They love the young leaves so much. So as soon as the leaves come out, they devour them. So you can see this one, we lost some of these leaves, but some new ones are trying to come out here. I don't know if you can appreciate it. Okay, so hopefully something will still come out of this tree. Okay, especially now that the rains are going away. It's quite exciting. Very good. Okay, so see this one doing some vegetative growth and trying to do some flowering by the side here, but you can still see that fungal infection that I'm talking about. So we need to treat these trees very fast. See, the leaves are curling up and this one is looking dry. This is a fungal infections, and the rainy season is the season where these infections are particularly very stubborn in your apple gardens. See, so you have to act fast on these ones too. See, the leaves, the young leaves have been attacked, and you have to do this repeatedly during this time, otherwise your tree try to take over your orchard. Okay, this one lost all the leaves, but a bud is developing here and here, and hopefully will also make it. So viewers, if you're getting value out of this, you're inspired, you can start your apple farm also. Our goal, our vision is to become the largest apple farm in Nigeria and indeed in West Africa. and we are going to get to that level by God's will. So this one too, developing something, but these infections are attacking the leaves as soon as they come. But we will not give up, and we'll see to it what we can do, as much as we can do. See, this one lost all the leaves. So rainy season is not the best season to plant Wambugu apples in our area. The dry season, when the rains are gone, at least you have like 4 to 5 or 6 months clear without rains. You see this one too, during which you can be watering. By the time the rains will come again, hopefully the plants would have been well established and nothing will affect them by that time. But right now, when they are still young, they're still very susceptible. Okay, see this one is able to get some leaves growing here, which is good. Okay, they all need to be treated. Okay, see this, see the leaves above the grafted part. That's the Wambugu apple. So viewers, share and like and subscribe to our channel if you have not yet done so that you'll be part of this journey of apple growing in northern Nigeria. And we'll come your way again with further updates. Until then, I say come and join us in apple farming. It promises to be rewarding, it's exciting. Fruit farming is not what we do mostly in northern Nigeria. Most people just farm grains. This is beautiful, okay? This one is getting well established. See the fine leaves. Okay, it's good. This is the grafted part. Okay, so let's join hands, especially the youths, and let's establish apple plantations in our region so that very soon we'll change the narrative of apple importation in this country. If anything, we'll control the local market and we'll start penetrating into the international market as well. Okay, see the effects of a lot of rains, too much water on these apples. So some of them will still pick up. It's too early to give up completely on them. Okay, you can see this one, the leaves, it's fungal infections that thrive in damp, humid environment. It's trying to take over, but we're going to treat it, and God willing, I'll give you updates on what is happening on this farm. Alright, so see this one, see the leaf here. So until I come your way again to another episode, stay blessed and start farming.